The armies of the civilized world have been pussified.
Mr. Reagan.
A new study released by the CDC reports that 49.1% of adults in the United States are obese. This study also found that 56.4% of women tried to lose weight versus 41.7% of men, and the percentage of adults trying to lose weight correlated with income. Typical recommendations for weight loss are to stay physically active, count calories, and cut out carbs. But the issue with these solutions is that they don't always get to the heart of the problem. This is why I love Keto Elevate from BioTrust. It's the quickest way I know to lose weight. It works in a similar fashion to how the popular keto diet works, which is that it melts fat, tones your muscles, and reduces cravings. Thousands of Americans see results within days of taking Keto Elevate. Now, Keto Elevate is a C8 MCT oil powder that you can look up the benefits to, and from all the research that I've done, it's a legitimately excellent supplement to help with weight loss. And I will say that I have done keto, and I have used this MCT oil, and I did lose weight, no question. I've actually slacked off a little bit on my diet recently, and I gained a few pounds, and I deeply regret it. So don't be like me. Go get yourself some of this stuff. I do highly recommend it. I actually take a few products from BioTrust, genuinely, so I am a fan of their stuff, and so does Valeria, actually, my wife. We both do. So try Keto Elevate today, 51% off by going to ketowithreagan.com or click on the link in the description below. All right, so what do I mean pussified? Well, Ted Cruz is a little bit more genteel in his language. He said that the Democrat politicians and the woke media are trying to turn the military into pansies. I say that this is the pussification of the American military. So I'm a little bit more crass, but I think that's okay, right? We're all okay with that. Now I can read, look, I'll read a little bit of this, but the truth is, the proof is in the videos here. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I'm going to play for you. It's a contrast between the Russian military's military recruiting video and the American military's military recruiting video. And the contrast is shocking. I mean, shocking. Shocking. Remember in the 80s, or was it the 80s or 90s when we had like army videos? They essentially looked like this video you're going to see from Russia.
A ranger never takes the easy way out.
You're reaching deep inside you for things you've never known. Go!
That's why getting into the Rangers is tough and the training is tough.
Be all that you can be.
So it makes me feel like I'm part of something really special.
Be all that you can be.
And I'm not the only one.
You can do it in the army.
Obviously not quite as good because, you know, Russia's using sort of contemporary cinematic techniques. Let's have a look here. Senator Cruz, in a tweet Friday, fired back on Democrats, said woke media is claiming he was attacking the United States military when he criticized the Army's latest recruitment video. I'm enjoying lefty blue check marks losing their minds over this tweet, dishonestly claiming that I'm attacking the military. No, we have the greatest military on earth, but politicians and woke media are trying to turn them into pansies. Well, that's right. I mean, a lot of the people in our military are flipping awesome folks. I mean, tough people, you know, honorable people, patriots that are trying to fight for this country. And what are they doing? They're creating the veneer of pussification. He added the new Dem videos are terrible in reference to a recruitment campaign. I mean, it's the same thing as the CIA video, basically. They're just like, you know what's going to make our military stronger? 5'2" females with no muscle mass. That's who. Lesbians. Anybody who's not white, not male, who's woke. You know, if you have a leftist agenda, especially if you're trans, that's even better for the military. I mean, their priorities are insane. Tammy Duckworth has written here, holy crap, perhaps the U.S. Senator shouldn't suggest that the Russian military is better than the American military that protected him from an insurrection that he helped foment. Tammy Duckworth never ceases to amaze me with her unbelievable stupidity. The U.S. military didn't really defend him against any insurrection because there wasn't one. And on the January 6th protest, during the January 6th protest, there was no military there. What the hell is she talking about? What the hell is she talking about? They were offered military protection by Trump, and they said no. Specifically, Nancy Pelosi said no, we don't want any of that. But instead of reading this stuff, let's just watch the video. You can get a sense of what it looks like just from this photo. Look at this photo. This is what the Russian military is like. This is what we are. We are robot soldiers. We are we're like cyborgs. We are amazing. And this is like, this is what we want in the American military. That's it in a nutshell. But let's go ahead and check this out.
Первый день твоей новой жизни. Сегодня. Что ты знаешь о себе? На что ты способен? Вопросы могут остаться без ответов, но разве ты сможешь потом спокойно спать? Узнать себя, познать границы своих возможностей. К черту границы. Ты готов ломать себя до изнеможения. Каждый день. Здесь боль закаляет. Шрамы, повседневность. Это ты решил себе что-то доказать. Это ты пытаешься увидеть в каждой тени своего врага, потому что без врага нет боя, а без боя нет победы. Но на самом деле, главный враг — это ты. Вчерашний ты. Твоя задача — выследить врага, догнать его, превзойти, стать лучше, чем он, и вернуться назад победителем. Потому что завтра — первый день твоей новой жизни.
It begins in California, with a little girl raised by two moms. Although I had a fairly typical childhood, I also marched for equality. I like to think I've been defending freedom from an early age, eventually standing at the altar to marry my other mom. I needed my own adventures, my own challenge. And after meeting with an army recruiter, I found it. A way to prove my inner strength and maybe shatter some stereotypes along the way. I'm U.S. Army Corporal Emma Malone Lord, and I answered my calling.
I mean, I'm sure she's great. I have no problem with the girl herself or her story. But this is really what we want to be promoting as the best of the best. Join the army. Be all you can be. Be the daughter of a lesbian couple. That's supposed to make you somehow perfect for the U.S. military. I'll tell you what, watching that Russian ad, I don't know about you guys, but I want to join the Russian army. Those guys are badasses. I love that. That looks awesome. I actually have a Russian rifle that my brother bought me many years ago. It's like the cheapest rifle you can get, but they're pretty awesome, actually. Look into it. It's called a Mosin Nagant.
A Mosin Nagant. This is a pretty cool rifle. It really is. One of the best rifles for the money. Man, that is a powerful round.
They manufacture like millions of them in Russia, so they're like $50. You can buy them for nothing. But they're cool because they're like from World War II. Yeah, mine's from that era. They're good fun to shoot. All right, so that's the difference between the Russian military video to recruit Russian men into the military versus the American recruitment ad that they've produced in order to try to encourage the daughter of lesbian couples to join the military. I'm not really sure what their thought was on that. Like, this is somehow a good idea. Make a cartoon that attracts the daughters of lesbian couples. Yeah, we gotta fix this, guys. This is not... I don't know who's in charge of this crap, but it's weird. It's like, I feel like... It's just bizarre. You know, yeah, it feels like the wrong people are in charge of a lot of things in this country right now. People that most Americans don't want in charge of these things. I would imagine that even most Democrat voters would look at that army video and say, yeah, no. Even I think the most pussified beta males, even like woke middle-class housewives that are taking their kids to soccer practice and then going to the grocery store and scolding people for not wearing a mask, I think even they, given the choice of who they want protecting their country and their freedom, I don't know if they'd go, oh, you know who I want? The daughter of lesbian couples. That's who I want going out and trying to kill Osama bin Laden. I think they'd probably say, no, get me some of those Russian dudes. I don't think there's anybody really, I mean, probably a very small number of like super crazy leftists that would even think that this kind of video was a good idea. I think the vast majority of even people who voted for Biden, I think the vast majority will look at that video and go, okay, this is ridiculous. You know, I don't know who's making these decisions, but this is our taxpayer money, I imagine, right? It must be. I mean, I don't know exactly how that video was made or why or who made that decision, but I think we can all agree that's ridiculous. Okay, so we need to figure out how to fix this because the country's going in a really weird direction, guys. I think that there's going to be a natural correction here soon, at least with regard to Hollywood and also corporations, because as you're all aware, you have companies like Gillette and Procter & Gamble coming out with all of this woke garbage, but they're just losing massive amounts of money. They're just they're just hemorrhaging cash because they want to appeal to this very small minority of people who probably don't even buy their products or services. Most of these companies who are trying to appeal to the woke mob, they're not making any money because the woke mob isn't buying any of their crap. You know who buys the stuff from these companies? Hard-working Americans, blue-collar Americans, Republicans. That's who. Not these like leftist pansies, as Ted Cruz calls them. Well done, Ted Cruz. But anyway, that's it for this story. Good night.
We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening.